Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Okayama International Circuit for the SimRacerHub.com 69. That's right, they're doing 69 miles here tonight. So, going to be interesting. And you see, we've just joined in at the end of practice here. So, we're going to watch qualifying as it unfolds. I have the cameras set on to focus on crashes, so we might get whole laps, we might not. Just wait and see as Chris Champeau rolls out onto the track. 10-minute qualifying here tonight. So instead of having the ad break, we decided that we were going to watch it through. Got a few people out there attempting to qualify. There's the 05, Scott Rickard. Also got Ken Campbell out there, Austin Collins, James Watson, Jonathan Hernandez, Joe Slama, Thomas Harmon, Reggie Ortega, Jack Sanders, Frederick Cremines as well, and Kyle Kraus, Logan McCannley. Everyone has 2 laps to set a time, but they got 10 minutes to do it. They'll be able to see in real time how the grid is going to form here for racing tonight. There's James Watson running the wrong paint scheme. There's the 15 of Ken Campbell. But I think that might have been Austin Dan we were on in the 40. It is. It just showed James Watson for some reason. So here we go. They're about to start their laps now. And Scott Rickard will be the first one to start his lap. Heavy braking zone for turn 1. Oh! That's Reggie. Now he reset and he got it wrong again. Let's find someone to jump on with. We're going to go with James here. Hard braking for the first right-hander. Long sweeping right-hander it is. Then we're going to the third gear left-hander over here. Swing it out wide, and then we're going to a small little chicane. Heavy braking for a medium right-handed hairpin. A lot of gravel been brought onto the track there. And the big back straightaway. This is where you're going to get all the draft and all the drafting opportunities before the super heavy braking zone here for the tightest hairpin on the track. Wouldn't be surprised if they're all the way down the first gear for that. And into the 6-shooter section, I think it is. Couple of left-hand corners. Then a short shoot on the way to the 2 hairpins. Just Champeau, the first one to set a lap time. 1:34.3. Then we go into the penultimate corner on the track, which is also pit entry. And the final corner before you blast down the main straight here is only slightly shorter than the big back straight. And at that time for James was a P2 time. Chris Champeau still leading the way now. Austin Dan has taken the top lap time. 1:34.117. Chris Champeau 2/10 off. James Watson 3/10 off. Jonathan Hernandez is 9/10 off in 4th. Then Scott Rickard, Austin Collins, Thomas Harmon 2.5 seconds off. Looks like Travis Masia is still on his first lap here. The 74, Austin Collins. He's on his second lap. He was 1.3 back after his first lap. So he'll be pushing it pretty hard here for his second. Still got TJ on the hood. The 9 of Joe Slammer. He's on his second lap. We go back to Austin. Oh, James has had a moment there. That's on his second lap, so his second lap's not going to count. Slammer comes around the final couple of corners. Chris Champeau's gone back up to P2. Scott Rickett, Ken Campbell are finished. Couple more times coming in. Joe came in P10. We're looking at Thomas Harmon, who's currently P7. The next car across, I think it's going to be Travis Masia. And I was wrong. Travis has got it wrong coming out of the little hairpin. And he's decided to pull the plug from there. Still Austin Dan from Chris Champeau here at the top. James Watson in third. And as we know, he's not going to improve. Jonathan Hernandez fourth. Scott Rickard, Ken Campbell, Thomas Harmon on screen, Austin Collins. Austin's finished, he's in eighth. Thomas is pulling it in, so he's done. Then we've got Freddie Cremines in 9 and Joe Slammer in 10. Joe is done. I think Freddie has one more lap that he can do. There's Clayton Ward. He's about to finish his second lap, I think. Freddie Cremines is pulling it in. Clayton Ward goes 14th. And that's a big off track there for Joe. Straight into the fence. Where's that? Oh, that was coming out of turn 2. Unlucky. McConnelly has gone up to P2. Just snuck up there in front of Chris Champeau. James Watson just trying to get some more laps in. And the last 3 we got on track are all just getting laps in, although, no, one of them's Matt Sisler. Sisler didn't set a time for the first lap. And looks like he's not going to set one for the second lap either. Pretty sure that was an off track there. Coming out of the 6-shooter section. Down through the final corners just in case. And there is no time set. That's his first lap. I thought it was his second, but no, it was his first. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get this second lap in. He's going to be cutting it very, very close. Yeah, no, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to make it. So that's it. That's how the top 16 have qualified. So we'll get ready to get into race order here. On the pole, we've got the 40 of Austin Dan out of P2. Logan McConnelly out of third. We are going to have the 12 of Chris Champeau. Then the 39 of James Watson. Out of P5, we'll have the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez with the 2 of Reggie Ortega out of P6. P7 will be the 05 of Scott Rickard with the 8 of Ken Campbell. P9 will be the 39 of Thomas Harmon, or the 74 of Austin Collins. P11, the 14 of Freddie Cremines. P12, the 9 of Joe Slama. P13 will be the 68 of Andrew Griesbaum. And Travis Massia in the 14th position. Clayton Ward, he'll be out of 15th in the 44. Jack Sanders in the 25 will be out of 16th. 17th will be Matt Horton in the 89 car. And Matt Sisler in the 93 out of 18th. Kyle Kraus will be out of 19th with Thad Baylor out of 20th. 21st will be Jonas Marquez. 22nd, the 5 of Mark Pentacuff. And league owner and founder Jaron Sanchez in the 4 will be out of 23rd. But the order is a little bit messed up there. I think Jaron might have bailed on the race. There's a shortish pace lap here. They just started at the hairpin off the back straight. Pole is on the right because the first corner is a right-hander. And these guys are going to have to pull those belts real tight as they get ready to rumble here. Our cautions are on. So we'll get a caution either for a track blocking incident or something that iRacing deems is track blocking enough. Pace car makes a hard right turn into pit lane. Come around the final corner. And they will get the green. First starts on green. All restarts are on the leader inside of the registered restart zone, which I guess is anywhere off the last turn. They thunder down into 1 and 2. Thomas Harmon already taking it 3 wide. Thinks he's a V8 Supercars driver or something. Got the cameras focused to set on crashes. The order is already Dan, McAnally, Watson, Champeau. Ortega completes the top 5. Cremines trying to make a move to the inside of Harmon. And that is for the 9th position. The top half dozen or so aren't really battling as Austin Collins now trying to make the move on Freddie Cremines in the hairpin. And he'll do so as they go 3 wide coming off the corner. Somehow they all got through that. Oh, there's a car off on the grass there in the distance. A lot of incident points will be doled out in this race, I can tell you that much. Oh, and around goes Scott Rickard. He goes to get himself back going again. Let's see what happened to the driver of the 05 there. Did he just give it too many beans? Oh, he got a little bit of help from the 15 of Ken Campbell. That's how that went down. The first lap is in the books. Austin Dan leading it from McAnally and then Watson, Champo and Ortega as your top five. Side-to-side battle between Sisler and Harmon there as the 15 this time has gone off. What happened there to Ken Campbell? This one looks like he did just do it all by himself. That's the big hairpin before the big back straight. Yep. And someone else got a little bit sideways in front of him as well by the looks of things. Couldn't quite tell who it was. And actually, I think it was Chris Champo. He's dropped out of the top 5 into P6. Hernandez now up into the top 5. Oh, there's Clayton Ward there in a 44. What's happened to Clayton? This is the first of the two hairpins. Oh, and he's just spun it all by himself. That's unlucky. A lot of dirt being kicked up on the track in the last couple of corners as we see Matt Sisler going off track. He did that to himself. A lot of gravel on the exit of the corner there. A lot of dirt and gravel here as well. And this is probably why we'll never be invited back to this track ever again, as there was a big lock up there for the 05 of Scott Rickard. He's behind Travis Massia and Ken Campbell as they battle it out side to side. And it looks like Campbell's going to take the advantage and Scott Rickard's going to follow him through. Good job for Travis Massia there, just facilitating those overtakes. Not making it too difficult. Go back to our leaders here. They're all still pretty packed together, our top 3. McAnally desperately wants to try and get that win. So too does James Watson. We now see the 7 of Kyle Kraus and the 9 of Joe Slama battling it out. That's for 11th, I think, or 10th. 10th. Sisler's gone behind them. Kraus has taken it. The best lap so far is a 1:36.2. No, it's a 1:35.9. Oh no, I'm wrong again. The 1:34.8 set by James Watson that he just did on his last lap. Can't even figure out my own software. Psst. Yeah, 1:34.8 set by James Watson on the last lap. As I think I just saw Watson in battle. He is. He's battling side by side with McAnally as they go into the twin hairpins. McAnally might end up winning this one. He will. But this has allowed Austin Dan to get away a little bit. It's also allowed Ortega and Hernandez to close in slightly. This is where things are probably going to start getting a little bit interesting here, with the little battles starting to form, especially up here at the front of the pack. Because, when trying to make a pass, it's all about trying to upset the rhythm of the car in front of you. We go back to focusing on crashes as Matt Horton, no, not Horton, Sisler. He was looking for a move on the 9 of Slama. That's the battle for 11th. Couldn't quite get anything done there. Bryce Thomas Harmon hasn't really made any kind of a charge through the field here. He is up a little bit from where he started. Actually, no, he's exactly where he started after dropping a few. Yeah, he just hasn't really had the pace to close in towards Freddie Cremines. Oh, was off the track a little bit there was Sisler. Opened him up to attack. Run to 15 of Campbell. You blocked that off. Look at the glowing brake discs there that go through the big braking zone of turn 1. These big old cars have big old brakes. The Chapeau has now gotten around Jonathan Hernandez to get back into the top 5. McAnally and Watson have jumped back onto the back of Austin Dan. McAnally looks like he's trying to size up a move here. He was right up on the bumper of Austin Dan there. Either that or he's just trying to draft with Austin, although that's not the way it's going to be. They go side by side out of turn 1 into turn 2. So much dirt and debris across turn 2 there. And looks like Sisler is out. What's happened here for the 93 of Sisler? Oh, we've had a big crash here. Big incident. Let's see, we're up at the 1 hairpins. Goes for a big dive on a 9 of Slama. Oh, and he just overcooks it. Goes around. And he collects Campbell as well. Got Rickett had to slow down, nowhere to go. Oh, poor Slama. Straight into his nose. Gets around him eventually and gets going. And that was the moment that Sisler decided to pull the plug on it. So let's go back to our leaders here as their battle is still heating up. Oh, McConnelly was looking for the move. I was at the big hairpin at the bottom of the hill. We'll mechanically go for the move now into the hairpin. This is probably the best passing opportunity on the track. He decides to wait it out. Here we go, into the first of the twin hairpins, and mechanically takes the lead. The first lead change of the race. And he made sure he had a little bit of a gap to the 39 of Watson before he pulled that move off. That way Watson couldn't get involved in the battle. Now mechanically starting to pull away already from Austin Dan. Although Dan runs a much tighter line through turn 2. Just kissing the edge of the sawtooth curb there. Taking much tighter lines on entry to the corner mechanically. Floating the car out that slight little bit wider just to get the momentum going. It's not to be, as mechanically. It's just that little bit better right now. Does have the fastest last lap of the race. We now look at this battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. Of course, it's Ortega, Champo and Hernandez here, Austin Collins and Freddie Cremines. This is a battle that extends from 4th to P8. 5-car battle. Well, Champo got right up onto the back of Ortega that time in the braking zone. Thought he was almost going to give him a little kiss on the bumper. But I think what we're going to do right now is we are going to go for a quick little commercial break. And when we come back, we should start seeing some green flag pit stops. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More racing action coming up very shortly. welcome back to the SimRacerHub.com 69 right here from the Okayama International Circuit. And we're riding on board James Watson's gyro cam as he's still trying to get second place away from Austin Dan. But Logan McAnally has absolutely shot away like a rocket. Has a 3.5 second lead over Austin Dan right now. So here is our leader, and here is his rear bumper view. No, that's not the rear bumper view, that's roll bar. That one. That's his rear bumper view. That's what he sees behind him right now. Absolute clean air. So he's not being bothered at all. And he's actually soon to fall into some lap traffic here. Just up the road is Jack Sanders in the 25. Sanders never really came to grips with the track, but at least he's out there giving it a go. It looks like Sanders has pulled right over to the right side of the circuit to allow the leader through. And I think he's going to try and learn from McAnally here a little bit about how to drive the track. Well, I think he backed up a little bit too much for that. Sanders just taking it real smooth and consistent here, trying to be as predictable as possible. As Reggie Ortega is in the pits for his pit stop. The other one in the pits is the 7 of Kyle Kraus. So they decided to pit before the halfway mark. Tires for Ortega and just fuel for Kraus. So Kraus gets out of the pits in front of Ortega. There's another one in the pits. I think that's Thad Faylor. So already the strategies are playing out. We'll have to keep an eye on Kraus and Ortega there to see how no tyres versus 4 tyres works out. You even think about the possibility of 2 tyres. As this is a mostly right-hand turning circuit. Thinking about a couple of left side tyres wouldn't be such a bad thing. Austin Dan has gone into the pits. Looks like Austin Collins is going to follow, so the 2 Austins pitting at the same time. See if Austin Dan goes for tyres. He does. What does Collins do? Collins is getting just fuel. And Dan just beats Collins out of the pits, but Collins will have nice warm tyres. Austin Dan will have cold new tyres. As Massier and Campbell are in the pits as well. Ortega has gotten around Kraus. A lot of debris here in the second of the left-handers there down in the 6-gun section. Oh, someone was off the track there. That was Austin Dan. Austin Dan went off the track. He gotten out in front of Collins and pulled away a little bit. And then now he's stuck behind as he got out into the dirty stuff. The sound of Jonathan Hernandez going into the pits. As Collins runs a little bit wide coming out of the twin hairpins. Just in front of them, that was Joe Slama coming into the pits. Looks like Andrew Griesbaum has also decided to pit. Our leader looking a little bit unsettled there going through the little hairpin. I know there's a lot of debris on the road, so maybe he was just trying to take a line where there wasn't as much debris. But with how much track cleanup there's going to have to be after this event, I don't think we'll be invited back anytime soon. As McAnally stays out another lap. By the sounds of it, Watson stayed out another lap. He has. We now reached the halfway point, 15 down, 15 to go in this 69-mile race. Let's just talk a little bit about SimRacer Hub. It's the best place to put your results up and have all your points figured out if you're running a league. SimRacerHub.com. Output Racing League's a long-time user of SimRacerHub.com. So too is the Winstell Series, the Winstell Cup Series, the Winstell Racing League. And the Output Racing League has 3 separate leagues. So we have this broadcasted Tuesday night league. We have a short track series on Thursday nights. And on Monday nights, we run a dirt oval series. So if any of that interests you, make sure you go to outputracing.com/apply and apply today. Tell them the Aussie Sim commentator sent you. And specify which series you're trying to apply for. Austin Ward has gone into the pits now. As once more McAnally stays out. And so too does James Watson. They're catching up to the back of Mark Pentacuff here. As Clayton Ward goes a lap down coming out of the pits. I think these guys are just trying to go as long as they can so they can take on the least amount of fuel when they do go for their stops. Smart, solid strategy. And you wouldn't want to take tyres while doing it. Let's just go focus on crashes here for a moment. We see our old leader, Austin Dan. He's still only just in front of Austin Collins, so it looks like tyres aren't really making that much of a difference around here. I mean, McAnally has set the fastest lap of the race, a 34.013, as a double O, of Jonas Marquez is coming into pits. ASPCA and Autism Awareness car. There's Travis Massia in the 16th position. Slama right behind him in 17th. James Watson's come into the pits. He's come in a lap earlier than McAnally. Let's see, does he get tyres or does he just get gas? It looks like it's just gas Yep, gas and go. Ramines is in the pits as well. But now we've got to keep an eye on McAnally here. What is McAnally going to do? Big lock up into the tight hairpin at the bottom of the hill. So much gravel across the track. And McAnally goes in this time. Let's see what he does. Does he get tyres? Or does he just gas and go? That is the ultimate question. Chris Champeau also in the pits now. Got Rickard. I can't see whether he's come in the pits or not. I don't think he has. As out comes McAnally. Just a gas and go as well. He has a whole straightaway. The whole entirety of the front straight. Over James Watson. So McAnally came in the pits first, came out of the pits in first. As Watson goes around Thomas Harmon. That is technically for position. That was for third. But Harmon is one of those who is yet to stop. McAnally, sorry, Austin Dan, trying to battle with Chris Champeau here and Jonathan Hernandez. Matt Horton's gone into the pits. Oh, big slide there for Champ. Did manage to gather it back up though. Mark Pentecoff's gone into the pits. That's what the klaxon blaring was for. Scott Rickard is in the pits as well. So too is Thomas Harmon. I think we're going to go for a short break now. So stay tuned. Once we come back from this break, we will be going to the checkered flag. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More racing action coming up very shortly. Welcome back to the SimRacerHub.com 69 here from the Okayama International Circuit on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. I stuff it up at least once a week, and that was my one stuff up, I hope. So we're looking at Logan McAnally has 9.5 laps to go. And he is absolutely cruising right now. Has a 14-second gap over James Watson. And we've only really had one major incident in this whole race. As I just heard the klaxon blare, so Mark Pentacup has gone back into the pits. Ever since he took the lead, Logan McAnally has just been dominating this race. And he hasn't been looking like he's going to be stopped anytime soon. Let's focus on anywhere and everywhere at the moment. The 88 of Hernandez has been trying to look for a way around Chris Champeau to get onto the top 5. Austin Dan's done a great job to get his way back into P3. As Hernandez has made the move into 4th. Oh, but Hernandez experimenting with alternate dimensions. Big dive for the 12 of Champeau. Hernandez saw it coming, ran wide. As the 05 Scott Rickard goes around Marquez, who is a lap car. In fact, he's the first car a lap down, so if we were to get a caution, Jonas Marquez would be the beneficiary of the lucky dog. So now, Hernandez is going to try and chase down Austin Dan and I guess try and get a podium here. As Ward has gone a lap down. And McAnally just got around Clayton Ward. And I think McAnally is just in cruise control mode right now. With 7.5 laps to go. Another look to the inside for Chris Champeau, who didn't take it though. Actually takes a very tight exit, so too did Austin Collins coming out of turn 1. They can get a nice wider entry into turn 2 with no stress. Oh, but I think Hernandez hot dogged it a little bit there. Too wide through the big hairpin. They go thundering down the back straight towards the little hairpin. Which way is Collins going to go? He breaks in line with Hernandez, but he'll cut down underneath. But the Stent Analyzer car still holding on strong in front of Collins. And he will maintain the 5th position. Oh, big lock up there for Austin Collins, almost clouting into the back of Hernandez. Hernandez managing to get out of it, drive away. Heads up driving for both of them in that situation. As Rickard catches up to the back of Pentacuff. And both he and Cremines get around Pentacuff fairly pain-free. So Cremines kind of got a little bit balked there on the entry to the big hairpin. We look back at Jonathan Hernandez, who just can't quite catch up to Chris Champeau now. Chris has gone off into the distance. So now the battle is going to be on for P5 here between himself and Austin Collins. Collins, who was one of those in line for Hard Charger Award by the looks of things. But we'll wait to see how that's going to work out at the end of the race. Let's check back in with our leader. He's almost got just 5 laps to go. Just making his way around to twin hairpins. And he's catching up to the back of Travis Masia, who's at risk of going a lap down. In the background, Matt Horton cutting 2 wheels out into the dirt as Jack Sanders pulled out of the way there to allow both Masia and McAnally to go by, and Horton out in the rough stuff there in turn 1. Big drift through the gravel trap. And Masia takes this opportunity on the back straight to allow McAnally through. And you could almost think these two are teammates with the way the paint schemes are. One's the Bass Pro Shops car, one's a Gladiator car, but they've got the same red, the same black, and in the same spots. As McAnally comes out of the final corner, it'll be just 4 laps left in this race. McAnally's got plain sailing here for another couple laps. We'll come back to him on the last lap. As we're looking at the battle between Hernandez and Collins. Hernandez desperately trying to pull away from Collins and catch up to Champeau, who hasn't really been able to get away from these two. They're catching up to the back of Jack Sanders. Sanders pulling over to the right side of the track to allow these guys through. I think Collins got a little bit balked there by Sanders. That's opened up the gap between himself and Hernandez, who without the pressure behind has really been catching up to Champeau here. We now look at James Watson in P2, catching up to the back of Clayton Ward. We still have 15 cars on the lead lap. Now we go back to the battle for P4. The laps are ticking down, the light is starting to become an issue. I don't think Okayama has track lights. As day turns in the night, this could get interesting here for these last couple of laps. Jack Sanders has pulled it back into the pits once more. I think that might be where he remains for the remainder of the race. Got 2 laps to go now, as McCannley just went through turn 1. As you can see, Hernandez has a surge of pace here towards the back end of the race. He's got 2 laps to try and get around the 12. All right, here we go. The 19 cars just crossed the start finish line, and he's begun his last lap now. Whips his way through turn 2 into the small chicane here for 3 and 4. There's a big hairpin here at 5. Down the big back straight. Few cars ahead of him that don't matter. To the small hairpin of 6. And turns 7 and 8. Just very smooth driving here. First hairpin of 9. in the twin hairpins. The second hairpin a 10. Then 11 and 12. There you go, your winner of the Sim Racer Hub 69 from the Okayama International Circuit. Going to be the 19 of Logan McAnally. P2. Way back in turn 11. It's going to be Austin Dan, who has made a move on James Watson there in the last lap. Didn't see that one coming. We've got Chris Champeau, who's currently in 4th, and he will remain 4th. Hernandez in 5th. Austin Collins P6, got Rickard 7. We just have to wait for everyone to finish. So Hernandez goes for a drift through the gravel trap there at turn 1. McAnally just trundling his way back towards the front. Hope he still has enough gas on board for a burnout. That in 15th will be the last of the finishes. And there we go. We go through the unofficial order. It's McAnally, Dan, Watson, Champeau, Hernandez, Collins, Rickard, Cremines, Ortega, and Kraus. That's your top 10. And we have Harmon, Campbell, Griezbaum, Slama, Faylor, Masia, Horton, Ward, Marquez, and Pentacuff down to 20th as we go over the page once more. We've got Sanders, Sisler, and a DNS for league founder Jaron Sanchez. We see McAnally in the background doing a big old burnout. We're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we will have driver interviews, so make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, it's now time for driver interviews, and as always, we'll kick things off with our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner. And tonight's Hard Charger started in P10, finishing in P6, going +4 for the race, which is not easy around a road course. It is, of course, the 74 of Austin Collins. Austin, hard charger tonight. It was a hard fought battle for you as well. You were battling with Austin Dan there a little bit after the pit stop cycle, with you taking no tires and him taking tires. And then just a little bit of a battle between yourself, Hernandez, and Champo there towards the end.
Yeah, I was surprised. Really, I don't really enjoy road courses that much. I'm usually not very good at them either, so that usually goes hand in hand. But yeah, I got about 20 minutes of practice on this track. I don't think I've ever ran this track before, so to come home with sixth place and hard chargers, pretty nice. And like I said, it was mainly just about keeping it on the road and making sure it was pointed the right way the whole time, and I was able to keep her that way. So.
Now, it definitely looked like a different kind of race because we're not used to racing these cars around this track. I know there's a few people throughout the field, myself included, that are used to driving other cars around here. But what's it like trying to wrestle this Gen 7 car around Okayama?
It was actually a lot of fun, to be honest. I wouldn't mind doing it again. Now that I have some laps under my belt, one big thing I realized about halfway through the race was just how much engine braking was a factor, and that you needed to do just to get the car to slow down. I know I might have had a shot to stay there with Jonathan and Chris at the very end if I hadn't made that mistake trying to get it. I tried not going down to second one time and didn't realize how much that wouldn't slow me down, and missed my corner quite a bit and let them get away from me. But like I said, it was just a lot of fun to come out here and try to learn. Like I said, it's a new racetrack to me. Like I said, the next gens usually haven't been nice to me on road courses, so to get what I did out here tonight was a lot of fun. Like I said, those guys up front, they were fast. They were real fast.
All right, now, of course, TJ Crampton is currently serving his 5 race suspension, but he's here with us in spirit, being on your hood. What's the story behind putting TJ on your hood?
Yeah. Story is I Daytona. I figured TJ ain't gonna be with us, so he's been with us long enough here at Output that he deserves to at least be here in spirits, like you said. So I had Jonathan whip me up a scheme here, put that beautiful face on the front of this car. Nice to actually get it, you know, to the checkered flag this time. Last 2 weeks I've really did a number on his face. Not that I wanted to, but it just so happened. So big shout out to TJ. Hope to see him out here. I think he's got 2 more races left. Um, he can start racing with us again, hopefully.
Yep,
So
yep. 2 more
another
races.
yeah, another shout out to, like I said, Jonathan for putting this scheme together for me there at the end, very last second.
All right, now let's look forward to next week where we're going to be going to, I believe it is the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. What's it feeling like for you as we head out to the deserts of Nevada?
It'd be nice to go to like a cookie cutter type NASCAR track. Like I said, we've had Old Atlanta, which I felt like I probably should have gotten the top three there, um, and then we came here and then Daytona. So to go to Vegas, it'll hopefully be a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm still not a big fan of the next gens, but that's why I'm happy to be running them, because I'm trying to learn as much as I can. So we'll go out there, try to do what we can, and try to, like I said, once again, just get to the checkered flag.
All right, awesome. Before we let you go here tonight, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, all the admins at Output, they all do a phenomenal job with what they do here. Like I said, any West Coast or late night racers, like I said, it's perfect for them. I gotta thank you, Corey, for doing the broadcast. You do a great job. All the sponsors that help us put this on. Thank, like I said, Jonathan for putting this paint scheme together. TJ for being there on the hood for me. And all the guys that hang out with us every night and come up to show up and race with us. They all did a great job tonight.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on coming home with Hard Charger. And we look forward to seeing what we can do next week when we go to Las Vegas.
Yes, sir. You have a good one, Corey.
All right, that was our hard charger and our sixth place finisher tonight, Austin Collins. Coming up next, we're going to have our third place getter, and I'm not sure it's too overly happy of a third place for the number 39 of James Watson. James, I'm hearing there might have been a little bit of a bump and run there on the last lap, putting you down to third, but still a very solid race for you here tonight. James?
You got me?
Yep. So probably not the best of finishes for you here tonight with P3. Obviously a little bit of action there between yourself and Austin Dan there on the last lap, but still a very solid finish for you here tonight.
Yeah, it being a road course, I knew this was one of my few opportunities to get a good result. So I needed to maximize what I could. And yeah, it was a real good run. Happy with ending up P3.
Now let's talk about the pit strategy there. When you decided to come in, you came in after what seemed like about 2 or 3 laps after everyone else. Was it just trying to extend your fuel as much as possible, so you had to put the smallest amount in, keeping your car as light as possible for that last run?
Yeah, I was thinking about like running the whole tank down, but it started to become kind of clear that the lower fuel tank was it felt a little loose on the lower fuel tank, which is kind of the opposite of what you expect in a stock car. But I just kind of wanted to get back to having a little more of a little more fuel, a little more junk in the trunk, and hope to keep the rear from not getting as loose. And yeah, it was it felt like it was a good time to pit because shortly after I was able to get back to running some pretty solid lap times.
Now let's talk about the last lap. You come into it in P2. We didn't personally see it here on the stream yet. But where did it all go wrong for the battle between yourself and Austin Dan there?
You'll have to ask him on that one.
Alrighty. All right, but let's look forward to next week then. We're going to Las Vegas. What's the feeling like for you as we head out to the desert of Sin City?
Not good. Me and mile and a halves do not get along, so that's why I was so hell bent on getting what I could this week. Because next week's gonna be a struggle.
All right, now before we let you go here tonight, James, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, I gotta thank everyone at Team Watson Racing Setups. Use code WATSPIN39 for 10% off at checkout. Boomer button boxes, Icon Sim Racing apparel, uh, National Racing Network, and Dizzy V Designs and ZAS Designs for putting together my paint schemes.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, James. Congratulations on coming home with P3, and we look forward to seeing what you can do next week when we go to Sin City.
Cheers. Thanks, Corey.
All right, guys, that was our second place getter here tonight, James Watson. And wasn't the overly best finish for him, but hey, he'll take it. Coming up next, we are going to have our second place getter. Second place goes to one of our league rookies for this season, the 40 of Austin Dan. Austin, great finish for you here tonight, P2. And what is something a little bit different, running the Gen 7 cars here around Okayama. How was it for you?
Well, I'm not a fan of the way they drive, but I'm good at it, so I can't really complain too much. Um, Tried a different strategy and it worked out pretty good. I didn't mean to get into the 39 on the white flag though. I apologize for that.
Yeah, well, talking about that a little bit with James, what happened there? What went wrong while you were following behind him there on the last lap?
I just thought that'd be my only passing opportunity because all the other corners after that were really tight and narrow. So I tried to throw a Hail Mary in there and I locked up and got into his right rear.
Makes sense. Yeah, unfortunately, that's one of the bad byproducts of road racing is the big lockups when you try to go for a Hail Mary dive bomb. But at the end of the day, it's a part of racing. So let's look forward to next week then. We're going to be going to Las Vegas. So what's the feeling like for you as we head out to the desert of Nevada?
Pretty hopeful. I've been somewhat decent at Vegas in the past, but not sure how good I am going to be at tire saving. So that's probably going to be something I'm going to practice.
All right. Now, before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Fanatec, I guess, for giving me all my equipment. Well, they didn't give it to me, but it's good equipment. I use it. It's nice.
All right. Well done on coming home P2 here tonight, and we'll look forward to seeing what you can do next week when we go to Sin City.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was the 40 of Austin Dan, tonight's second place getter. And now we move on to our winner. And he has said he doesn't care how I say his name, but I am going to try and get it right this time. Tonight's winner in the 19 car is Logan McAnally. Logan McAnally. I had to think
You
about it
got
there
it.
for a second.
You got
Yes.
it.
But
Hey.
Logan, big win for you here tonight. Once you got around Austin there for the lead, you just absolutely took off, and I think you won that with about a good 16-second gap over Austin there in P2. You still have me there? I think we lost connection for a second.
I couldn't hear you for a second. Sorry.
That's all right. So a big victory for you here tonight at Okayama. I think once you got the lead from Austin there, you just kind of just stretched it away, and I ended up winning by I think it was about 16 seconds there in the end. How was the race for you out there?
Yeah, I really didn't know how I was gonna do when I come into this race. I think the only time I've drove this track was in Mazdas, so this was definitely a challenge in this car. I hate the brakes in this car, um, but somehow I was able to hit the brakes pretty good on that. Yeah, it was. I didn't know whether to take 4 tires, 2 tires, or gas and go, and I was like, well, I might as well keep the warm tires on, put gas in it, and go.
Well, it was definitely a strategy that worked out for you. Austin, even though he did take 4, he was coming at the end there, but he just didn't quite have the same pace that you had. And I don't think there was really too much difference between the 4 tire, no tire group. I mean, Austin did pull away from the other Austin, but at the end of the day, with other people who didn't take tires, it really didn't matter overly that much.
I think my tires were like 93 all around whenever I came in, but I didn't really notice the difference out on the track.
Yeah, definitely. I think Okayama is one of those circuits that's really good on tires. It's just making sure you don't overheat them. But with the way that you're being so smooth on the wheel going around this track, I don't think you had an issue of overheating them at all.
Oh, definitely not. I could definitely see my brake rotors glowing though. But
Oh yeah, don't worry. We saw that plenty of times on the broadcast as well.
I had a lot of hard braking in this race.
Let's look forward to next week, though, Logan. We're going to be going to Las Vegas. So, what's the feeling like for you as we head out to the high desert of Nevada?
I think it's a good track. I don't remember the last time I raced Vegas in this car because I don't really do much official racing, but I think it'll be a fun time.
All right, now before we let you go here tonight, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
We can shout out Bass Pro Shops and Johnny Morris on the car.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. All right, Logan, thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on coming home with a big win here tonight. Look forward to seeing what
Yes,
you can do
sir.
next week in
Appreciate it.
Sin City.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was Logan McAnally, the winner of tonight's racing action here tonight. But that is going to wrap things up for us here tonight. Thank you so much for coming out. Good, solid road race there, but I don't think the Okayama International Circuit will have us back with how much garbage we spewed all over the road. So until next week, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in Vegas.